Greetings, YouTube. The doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons. And today on the Doctor Spell Prognosis, we're talking about the spell Elemental Bane. And we are giving this spell an A-. This is a very underrated spell that I really didn't even know existed until I read it really carefully. But it's here. It's really good. I think it has a lot of benefits in combat. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. All right, so Elemental Bane, we're giving it an A-. It is a 4th level spell that is usable by Druids, Warlocks, Wizards, and Artificer. All base class, no subclasses. It's from the Elemental Evil Player's Companion. 4th level spell, 1 action, range of 90 feet, great range, verbal and somatic components, great components, no material component. Lasts for a minute, requires concentration. Yes, you want to use concentration on this. It's a con save, and that's kind of the reason why I'm not giving it an A. If it wasn't a con save, it was like a charisma, not really, an intelligence save or a wisdom save, then I would be doing that. Maybe even a dex save, I might give it a little higher, but it's a con save, so that kind of pushes it down. So, choose one creature you see within range, 90 feet. Choose one of the following damage types: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be affected by the spell for its duration. No additional saving throws after that. So if they fail once, they're in the spell and there's no getting out of it at that point. The first time each turn, the affected target takes damage of the chosen type. The target takes an extra 2d6 of that type. Moreover, the target loses any resistance to that type of damage until the spell ends. Now, it's only the first time each turn. Each turn. It didn't say each round. It said each turn. So, once a turn, it can take an extra 2d6 damage. Every character and every entity that is in a combat goes on a different turn. So you need to keep that in mind. And it loses its resistance. That's massive. So now, we've got a demon or a devil. Well, devils are immune to fire, but we got a demon who's resistant to a whole bunch of stuff. You just go not resistant to fire anymore. By the way, you're going to take an extra 2d6 damage from fire. So when you cast a spell at a spell slot of 5th level or higher, you can target one additional creature for each slot above 4th level. The creature must be within 30 feet of each other when you target them, which is great. So you could target more than one, but this really blossoms when it's against one creature. Now, we've gone over many ways, and I'll link to a video somewhere in this about how you get creatures to fail their saving throws. This one's a really important one. You want them to fail their save, because once they fail it, they're stuck, and they're going to start taking extra damage. Now, you need to coordinate with your group before you cast this spell, because you need to make sure that you can start piling up this damage every single turn. And so what do I say with that? There's a whole bunch of different ways that every class can do just a little teeny bit. All they need to do is just 1 point of elemental damage of that type, and it's 1 point plus 2d6 damage. And every turn, if somebody does that, that accumulates pretty massively. If you got a party of 5 people, then that's 10d6 damage that creature is going to be taking every round. So just think about that. So figure out ways to make the creature fail its save, and then also, let your party know, hey, I got this spell, and start figuring, I'm going to cast it at some point in the future combat. Start figuring out ways that once I do this, that you need to start doing some elemental damage, and then figure out what elemental damage everybody has, and then go from there. So I just want to highlight a couple of classes here that do that. So we've got the Wildfire Druid, which has the Wildfire Spirit, which does 1d6 plus proficiency bonus in fire damage. So the Druid can cast this spell. So the Druid casts it, the Wildfire Spirit hits it, and now it does 3d6 plus proficiency bonus in fire damage if it's fire. And then it can fire teleport too, which is a saving throw, which doesn't matter. So Then we've got the Artificer, the Alchemist, or the Artillerist Artificer has this flamethrower, which does fire damage. Again, this is an Artificer spell, so they could use this and do an extra 2d6 every round, 2d8. Oh, I'm sorry, 2d8 fire damage plus 2d6 fire damage every round. There you go. And you can get an explosive cannon. That does force damage though. So the flamethrower is a option with that. Of course, all these guys have spells that do elemental damage too. So there's that option. The Barbarian, the Storm Herald Barbarian, has a bunch of abilities where they can do some damage. Desert. When this effect is activated, all other creatures in your area take 2 fire damage each. That's 2 fire damage plus 2d6 damage if they're affected by Elemental Bane. The damage increases when you get certain levels. Lightning damage. So there it is. It's actually 3d6, and that goes up. Tundra. That's just temporary hit points. And then you get the Storm Soul, and you get the Storm Aura. And it just keeps going. But all you need to do is just do this little bit of damage right here, and it goes up. All right, the Cleric. Tempest Domain Cleric. Whenever a creature within 5 feet of you see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to cause the creature to make a dex save. The creature takes 2d8 lightning or thunder damage. Wow, there's lightning and there's thunder. Okay. And it's 2d8 plus 2d6. There you go. You can use this a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, and you regain all uses after a long rest. There's Thunderbolt. You can push it. So there's that. The Ranger has the Drake Companion, and the Clerics have a bunch of other ways to do it. I'm just highlighting just one, because we, for time on videos, I like to keep these videos kind of below 10 minutes. So the Ranger has the Drake Companion, and you choose when another creature within 30 feet of the Drake that you can see hits a target, you cause it to take an extra d6 damage equal to the Drake's essence, which is an element. So you choose the element when you summon the Drake. And again, it could be lightning, acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison. So all of these, I believe, are in there except for poison. Acid, cold, fire, lightning. Acid, cold, fire, lightning. There it is. So they're taking an extra d6 plus an extra 2d6 if they have Elemental Bane on them. And then finally for the fighter, not a lot of options for the fighter. There are some, but like the Ruin Knight gets this Fire Ruin that they can use, which does an extra 2d6 fire damage. That's a good one. Frost Ruin doesn't really do damage, and neither does the Cloud Ruin. But this one will do 4d6 damage instead. And there's probably a bunch of other ways that you can get fighters to it. But always, with this spell, think about, say, hey, does anybody have Elemental Bane? And then start thinking about ways to synergize between that character and them casting that spell with the rest of the party and them doing damage, and then you can start stacking damage up pretty massively. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.